Today is September 14th. Um, and today is Wednesday. Uh, and what intrigued me is a thing called probability. I have to think in terms of probability that allows me to take my thoughts and my direction in my trading in a certain direction. And how that is done is by analyzing where I need to take my trade. So when I make a trade, I now consider as a risk unit R. I'm thinking in terms of R. And I now see that what the trading world coined the word in reference to the letter R, which is essentially a risk unit. And everything is gauged upon this risk unit. So when I make a trade, I'm about to log in. When I'm about to trade, I need to establish the amount of risk I'm willing to take on that risk unit. So within my account, I have certain whole number of risks units. And I will use that risk unit to populate it throughout the day, should I need to. And I'm going to use my logic to sequentially through every step of the way. From this day forward, that is what I'm going to do. And I believe what that's going to do is minimize the zombie kind of a mode or the chimp mode of day trading. Now, when that happens, when I trade in this manner, and I'm hoping to be, because I have been equipped with the knowledge to trade, I can employ that knowledge to make these things happen. So, today is going to be the first day of conscious trading. A conscious trading that allows me to make the trade, and if the trade fails, it's because it is due to the criteria of probability. And if the probability is on a certain day is against me, then most likely my trade will go against me. Now, when that happens, I have to be willing to understand another idea, which is essentially knowing that when the trade goes against me, I need to exit. And at which point would that be? And at which point would that be? I have to know before I get in. If I know what that is before I get in, then the mental capital is depleted less. And because while I'm trading, it is possible that I will revert to this thing called the chimp mode. And I'm using that definition from UK spread betting, which I am finding to be a liberating factor in my day trading. So I was walking out of the shelter today, and my year is almost over, which means, and then I walked into the kitchen area, and the head chef asked me, "So how's your exit plan going?" So that essentially is similar to when I make a trade. So when I make a trade, I have to have an exit plan. Am I willing to lose everything and exit, or am I willing to exit with a small loss? Therefore, I am in the process of working with the community. I've reached out to places, even though I was denied an apartment near where I work because of my criminal record of being a felon from grand theft. So I see what he's talking about. So that is the is when I now the trading terminology fits in with everything else, and I appreciate what the world is telling me verbally too, instead of hiding it away. And God is telling me that exit plan is very important. It's to exit with most of the things intact instead of exiting with everything being lost. And therefore, what am I willing to risk when I enter a trade? That is the thing. The other part of it is, what am I willing to, what on the flip side, as he stated, the exit plan. The exit plan also requires getting into another place, which is exiting on a limit order or taking profit. So what is that going to be? So when I make a trade, am I looking for a 2R, 3R, or 4R? Is that even possible? Or am I looking for a fraction of an R? The way the things are being played out, the risk unit is essentially the amount of risk that I'm willing to take based on the amount of capital that I'm willing to place into a trade. And therefore, the most recommended factor which applies across the board is essentially, whether it's day trading or swing trading, is the amount of risk unit. And this has been made poignantly clear to me that I need to think through these things before I enter a trade. And although the homeless shelter is telling me to exit because my year is up, and internally I feel a emotional turmoil, which caused me, I believe, which caused me to lose a bunch of money yesterday, because I was in a zombie mode, thinking about where I'm going to live. Am I going to live in a car or something? However, I know that they are looking out for me. They know something that I don't know, and because they've gone through it, they know that it's time. They know that I've spent enough time there, and it's time for me to leave the nest, my nest. And they are doing that for my own sake, so that I can make progress towards being integrated into society. Despite the fact that my story is quite different than in individuals who have been incarcerated for a long time. That would be another channel. So here I am. It's a probability, and it's because it's probability, because everything we do is a probability. It's a statistical probability. Every step that I take is a statistical probability. And so I have to always keep that in mind. Whenever I take one step forward, it's like leaping, it's like looking before I leap. It's like walking on a tightrope. It is essentially like walking on a tightrope. Yeah, essentially that's what it is. One step at a time. As a Catholic deacon stated to me, it's one day at a time. So I look forward to making this adjustment, which is in line with the mainstream day trading world, and making that part of my day trading life.